when you are able to build on a single statement, right, or half a statement, that changes the way, again, you are behaving and you are developing, right? And it enhances your own leadership potential.
Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, industry colleagues, my name is Rakesh Sinha. Very warm welcome to Beyond Boundaries with RS, the talk show. I'm excited to be here at Broadridge Financial Solutions, Bengaluru. And I'm honored to have a guest with me, a very well-known leader, accomplished colleague from industry, Ms. Sheenam Ohri, Managing Director, Broadridge Financials.
Hey Rakesh, how are you doing?
Very nice to meet with you, Sheenam, and thank you for joining us here on Beyond Boundaries with RS. We are going to have some excellent conversations, talk about you and talk about Broadridge Financials' journey as well.
I'm absolutely looking forward to that, Rakesh. Thank you. Yes.
Once again, welcome to Broadridge.
Thank you, Sheenam. I think very nice office. Very well placed in the heart of the Whitefield. Lovely to be here, and I think I got a very warm welcome here to your office. Thanks to your team.
Thank you. Broadridge Bangalore is about 7 years old, and built over time, slowly and steadily. So I'll show you some parts of the office that we have done to accelerate employee experience. I'll also take you up to see our customer center. Right, we've built a very beautiful experience center, so we'll take you there. I do want to invite you to our Hyderabad campus.
Sure.
That's very different, very traditional, lots of open spaces, lots of greenery. Very different from this one, but that's going to be an experience by itself also. So next time maybe we should meet there.
Absolutely, we should plan for that for sure. And as you walk up and you're going to take an elevator,
yes,
I just want to talk about your elevated professional journey. I think over decades, right? I think you have a phenomenal journey, professional career, ranging with the different kind of roles. And you must have got variety of learnings and experience and those pivotal moments, what we call the turning points in your career, right? And leadership, which takes you to the next level. It will be helpful to hear some of those learnings of your professional journey, as well as how you are leveraging some of that to influence your role currently in Broadridge. So some thoughts from you will be helpful.
All right. Let me start from the very beginning, right? I joined a startup in 1992, so I'm like telling you my age, but joining CITL at that point of time, Citicorp Information Technologies Industries Limited, which was an offshoot of COSL, which was the captive of Citibank, was, I think, the most important step of my career. We were 25 of us, which were picked up from a road show, and we kind of made that company a size of 40. But because the fact that, it was a new company and we were hungry, you did everything that was possible to be done, right? So whether it was software development, it was testing, it was QA, it was, tech doc, it was just organizing shelves sometimes, right? We have done everything. And that principle, right, that no work is different,
Very true.
I think created a really good foundation for me. The other thing that as CITL moved to iFlex and then became Oracle was we had a great role rotation story. Nobody in the organization was allowed to do a role for more than 18 months. So you joined the testing team, you either moved into software development or you moved into implementations, and you kind of came back, right? So that's something that I want to implement here also. You want to see the wall as we talk?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this is like, you get a lot of energy when you see a wall like this, where you have a lot of performers and innovators and so on and so forth, the contributors. In fact, you were talking about the startup journey. I can relate very well with that. And I think, we have seen that. People, when they go through the startup or entrepreneurial journey, the kind of mindsets they develop is very different versus a typical corporate leader mindset. And I can see that in you today, that entrepreneurial mindset as well. Now, maybe I'll like to hear something more on that from you.
Talk about entrepreneurs. We have a value system which is create, and you will see that on the wall. And the last E, actually, let me take you there, is entrepreneur.
Oh, wow.
So at Broadridge, that spirit of really being small and really, innovating and contributing to the whole thing is really good. Okay, so that's something that I'm really proud of.
Super.
Yeah,
Super.
that's something that I'm really proud of. Going back to your question, right, on leadership, my next job after iFlex was at Business Objects, which actually got acquired by SAP. And the other foundational story for me is the fact that at SAP, I got an opportunity to move from a people leadership role and a delivery and an engineering role to really figure out what product management is all about, right? So I became an IC. I became a chief product owner of a product that we were developing at SAP. So starting from idea to implementation, to finding out customers and all of that, that entire product management journey is something that has kind of made me also what I am today. And that is something that I'm going to now build into the fabric of Broadridge India for the larger organization. The third thing that I would want to talk about is my journey at Infosys. And Infosys was a very different role. I'd prior to that done about 22 years of software development. Infosys was a delivery role. So it kind of made me complete, right?
Yeah.
From a 360-degree perspective. When you
Holistic.
talk about, financials, you talk about KPIs, you talk about how to set up a business, how to run a business. Really understanding all of that was something that I did. I think that was a really good learning from me and kind of made me a better person and a better leader. Moving from there was Dell. Dell was again a very different role because I moved into IT. But fortunately for me, it was not just plain IT. It was product development in IT. So I set up their mobility labs, did a lot of work around data, right? And I believe all of these 4 assignments or 4 milestones of the career kind of brought me to Broadridge. When Broadridge was looking for a COO at that point of time, it kind of felt like I was ready for that next leap in the career.
No, absolutely. And I think you so well said that 360-degree or the holistic leadership and a different dimension of your journey, starting with the entrepreneurial journey to a well product role, to a delivery where you have a different understanding of stakeholder, customers, and so on and so forth, KPIs, even understanding P&L and balance sheets and all the stuff as a part of it.
Correct.
And coming to a financial services as a chief operating officer, and now playing a role of a managing director here with the Broadridge Financials India. I think this is a super journey. A lot of learning, I'm sure, which many of the industry colleagues who are going to watch this episode will like to carry from here. If you have to share 1 or 2 specifics, takeaways from here by saying, there are 2-3 things which I feel was very different. And if I would have not done that, I would have not been here where am I.
Okay, so I'll talk about the assignments and then I'll talk about, what I learned from them. So in 2004, I was given an opportunity to actually go and lead an implementation in Canada. The customer was deep red and I was told, convert that into a green account. I'd never done a customer implementation in my entire life. And just doing that assignment over possibly 24 to 13 months, moving it from red to amber to green to a go live to actually revenue generating. I think that was something that helped me tremendously build confidence in myself. Right? To me, that was an assignment that told me I could do things differently. So from there, I would tell people, experiment, right? Do different things, because you may fail at something, and I have in my over the time my different experimentations that I've done, but you will always learn from that, and there will be times when you will figure out things about yourself that you would never have figured out otherwise, right? So it's a very good journey of self-realization. And I'm very thankful for that assignment, because it kind of opened a lot of doors in my own mind about what the possibilities could be.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Then I go back to the same product role, right? Moving from managing a team of 300 people to just doing an IC. Nobody knew what that role was, what the definition of a CPO was going to be. Doing that role, learning, taught me that I could, if I wanted to, influence without any authority, right? It taught me levers about handling ambiguity, which I think is a great trait for moving from just a pure leader to being an executive that can, kind of define what the organization is. When you are able to build on a single statement, right, or half a statement, that changes the way, again, you are behaving and you are developing, right? And it enhances your own leadership potential. That, I think, was the second turnaround for me, right? So those would be the two things. The other mantra that I live by, right, is continuous learning. So I tell this to all my people. Are you investing 15 minutes in a day to read something, to learn something? Let's go to the fifth floor. What I want you to see in the fifth floor is something that we've designed 6 months back. And as a customer experience center that we've done, and talk more there. But before that, maybe I can talk to you about, the demographics of Broadridge financials in India. So Broadridge in India was set up 28 years back, and we are, it started with D. Shaw, Wilco, became ADP, and then ADP decided to divest a portion of the business, and that's how Broadridge was formed in 2007. So in 2007, when Broadridge was set up, really, right? In India, we were 450 people. Today, we are about 5,500 people, and we have 3 locations. Mm-hmm. That time, we started with Hyderabad. We kind of moved to create a BCP in Bangalore in 2017. And through an acquisition of a company called ITBT, we also acquired Mumbai as a location for ourselves, right? So that's something that we are exceptionally proud of, the growth that is there. But what makes me super proud, right, of everything that we have done over here is the kind of change in the role demographics that we have. We started off as an operations center and a little bit of a technology center. Today, all of blockchain, right, from idea to implementations and pre-sales happens from India. We have a great AI arm that is sitting in India, okay, and all of the AI engineering happens from the India offices.
This for this entire world.
Yes. Beyond AI, we now have a new role which is coming up in India, which is the entire thing around enterprise product management. So Broadridge has gone through 4 different avatars of transformation, right, globally. And why don't we sit here as we continue our conversation and possibly enjoy a cup of coffee? Yes.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
And very nice backdrop. Huh?
Absolutely. Thank you. We love it too. Yeah. So I was talking about the transformation journeys, right? So we've got a philosophy at Broadridge globally that we've got 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0, right? And these are all 6-year clusters of growth. So we started from being a pure SaaS company, a transaction processing company. In 3.0, we moved to being a product company. Right now, we are a platform company, right? We want to migrate towards a platform company. So the entire enterprise platforms, the product management of that will actually be done out of India. Right? So that's the kind of growth story that I'm really, really proud about, right? The numbers are there. The numbers are reflective of the growth of the larger organizations also. But it's the kind of roles that we're now creating, the kind of roles that we're delivering, the kind of impact that we are building for the larger organization that is, to me, very, very powerful and very, very heartwarming.
If I can just take a cue on this, and this is something which is like, across the industry, we all are seeing talked
every day about is we are no more an execution hub. We are no more an operational hub. We are no more a cost center or low cost location. But we are really trying to deliver a value and become a strategic partner. And some of the things which you talked about, like becoming an AI center of excellence in a way, or doing like, total product or platform from here is very, very powerful. But within the organization, to drive that change as a mindset, from really starting as, like you rightly said, starting at Hyderabad with some colleagues being there, and then Bangalore becoming more like a BCP and now becoming a, really a hub for you. What kind of mindset shift or a change you had to go through, and what were the few things you and the leadership team did here in India to bring that change and not remaining an operational hub?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there has been a continuous transformation of leadership, right? My predecessor did an excellent job of creating that platform and that really great baseline. But from a transformation perspective, in the last 3.5 years, what we've done is we actually launched a campaign which was called I Am Boundless, which has got 3 tenets to it. One was everything around ownership, your favorite topic, entrepreneurship, and then leading to equal citizenship. So we said, how can we be seen as people who can make the decisions, who not just have a seat at the table, but also have a voice at the table, a voice that is heard, that is influential, that carries weight, right? So moving from just being an outcome-oriented organization, an output-oriented organization, to an outcome-oriented organization, to an organization that is delivering pure impact, right? So, the value streams of ownership, from output to accountability to pure impact, right? How does my customer use it? That's something that we have done really well. We are in the second leg of that I Am Boundless journey, which is the entrepreneurship, where we want to say, we want to build things from India at a grassroots level, right? Small innovations. I'm not talking big, I'm just talking small innovations. So one of the things that we have recently launched is we have asked every leader to identify what is the one change that they want to bring in their area that they can control, right? And how will they go about doing it? So that makes people think about what is it that they want to do differently. And that's the change that we are, kind of looking at.
No, I think the way you summarized it is like, phenomenal. I think that's a kind of a shift. I think all the global capability centers or the GCC's leadership needs to bring in, not just by changing the name from saying I'm a shared services to a GCC, but really bringing that mindset shift of saying I'm a capability and I want to bring a difference to my parent and the head office. Now, that's a great journey. I can see on this cup, Great Place to Work certified.
Yes.
And I know you were talking about talent and the wall of the fame when I was seeing even downstairs, with a lot of contributors being recognized. We are sitting in Bangalore, where the talent is umpteen, but at the same point of time, in the same premises, we have seen sometimes 2 companies in the same cafeterias, the 2 talent acquisition team is sitting there and they're giving an offer letters to the employees in the same cafeteria, right?
Yeah.
How are you able to keep the flock together and inspire them? What kind of, people, innovative stuff which you are trying to bring in to remain Great Place to Work as the true meaning of it?
Absolutely. We just ranked number 92 in the whole country.
Congratulations.
Great place to work. Thank you very much. And I'm really exceptionally proud of that. As you would have walked in, you would have seen the 92 outside, and that's the significance of the 92.
Okay.
So Broadridge at a global level launched 4.0 last year, and India launched its 4.0 vision too, right? At our global planning event, we had a session last year where we talked about our vision and mission. And Broadridge India's vision is really to materially transform ourselves to be an essential capability center, going back to what you said. to be an essential capability center that will deliver to all of Broadridge's goals. And we're not restricting ourselves to 4.0, obviously, right? And under that, we've got 4 tenets that we want to think about. And the number one goal there is talent, right? So how do you onboard the best talent that's available?
Right.
How do you groom them, develop them, and retain them, right? That's the strategy. Our attrition numbers are really good. They are much better than the industry. We're about 5 points lesser than the industry
this is
from
like,
that
this is
perspective.
phenomenal.
And one of the things that we've started doing over the last 2 years is that we've started to transform ourselves to say, this is why you're doing this, right? So, globally you have a strategy and you're doing that strategy. But from a grassroots level, if you start to say, hey, listen, team A, this is what you deliver to the strategy of the organization, there is a very well-defined purpose. And when the why is so clear, right? Obviously, there is the energy and the inspiration and the invigoration is very high. So leading with purpose is very, very important. You saw our wall downstairs, right? The entire thing about recognition. It's not just about putting those certificates there, it is about putting the certificates along with their pictures, right? That's a very proud moment. So you're not only just delivering, you're also being recognized, and you're recognized publicly so well in the Wall of Fame, interspaced with what we have as a common fabric for our culture, which is our create values, right? Customer centricity, respectful, engaged associates, accountability, trust, entrepreneurship. And we want to live those values throughout, right? So those are some of the things that we work on. Beyond that, we have a great number of initiatives that are very good from a talent perspective, right? And we have things around persona-based learning, and I'm just going to talk about persona-based learning, which means anybody who's entering the organization, somebody who's like 3 months in the organization to somebody who's 3 years in the organization, somebody who's just about to become a people leader, somebody who's an executive and wants to become better, right? So each persona gets a set of learnings that they can do.
Right.
And those are classroom learnings, those are LinkedIn learnings, those could be specialized coaching and stuff like that. So, there's different things that we're trying to do from a talent perspective.
I think the moment you talked about your attrition percentages far below the industry numbers, that itself is incredible. And I think some of the things which you're talking about in terms of how you look at the people differently, both in terms of recognizing them and making them feel good, at the same time bringing the persona-based learnings and some of that, it actually infuses that you are people-focused organization, and that's where you are able to get.
We don't call our people, we call them associates.
Wow, they're part of
our
absolutely,
hearts,
absolutely.
Yeah. This is the reception area where we sat, right? We host our customers here, but this is where we're going to be talking to our customers. This entire space, right, that we have here allows us to have various demo booths, right? So you could have various sections over here that have, capabilities that are demonstrated to our people all across, right? And then you have the board area where you could really talk to the customers, give them presentations and stuff like that. So this is new. This is about 6 to 8 months old, but really something that we are exceptionally proud of from that perspective, right? Another thing that we have done is actually launched an account management function in India. Like we are a GCC, right? And a capability center for Broadridge. All our customers, like at least 20 to 25 of our customers have GCCs in India. So whether you're talking about Wells Fargo, you're talking about Citibank, you're talking about HSBC, Barclays, Nomura, Northern Trust, right? They all have really large centers here. They are working, making decisions on our products. And if they have an issue, concern, query, they go back to their headquarters, who goes back to my headquarters, who comes to me, and we do this kind of circle. So the account management function that we set up last year is really to create a zero distance between us. We launched this at the Broadridge Client Summit last year in July. We're doing the second edition of that. We call it Driving What's Next as a property. And we're doing the second edition of that on 25th of August, right? And we already have about 107 confirmations. I'm hoping to get about 150 client leaders in the room at that point of time. Yeah. Thank you.
I think it's one of the very good initiative because we have seen in some cases of manufacturing, FMCG side, where they tried doing it and they have experienced some success, but at the financial services, this is one of its kind. So, excellent, very well done. Sridham, I think we were just talking a little while ago about this whole customer experience and artificial intelligence and the way you have really advanced the kind of work which you're doing from here in Bengaluru. At the same time, this whole AI has become like, a big hype.
Correct.
With everybody talking about it without even knowing sometimes the full form of what is AI. And yesterday we're talking about generative AI, now agentic AI, then tomorrow we'll talk about artificial general intelligence and so on and so on. How you as an organization and particularly GCC is keeping a pace with this AI and saying where to invest, where to focus, how to find a use case. Should we focus on return on investment or should we focus on our capability building? Some thoughts from you.
So, great question. And from a Broadridge perspective, we do have a goal which is AI everywhere. But I want to take a step back and say, we are in a very regulated business, right? So as a fintech, we can't just generally do anything and everything that we want to do. We had to figure out the right way of doing it. So when GenAI came to the picture and we had OpenAI protocols and stuff like that, we created our own version of ChatGPT, which we call as BroadGPT, working with Microsoft and OpenAI. And we have our own protocols to ensure data doesn't go out. So our AI strategy actually is threefold. One is the entire thing about capability building that you talked about, right? So everybody has to mandatorily go through certain segments of AI training. Then you have how do you improve development productivity? How do you improve ops productivity? How do you become better at what you're doing by leveraging this technology? And the third piece is really the business use cases. So we don't adopt a technology because a technology needs to be adopted. We adopt a technology, we find it fits into the use case that we want. So we are now very specific use cases which already have products out. So you have Bond GPT, you've got Distribution GPT, Ops GPT, Performance GPT. These are all things that are there in the market and our customers are using it and leveraging it. We have 27 other ideas that are going through an ideation phase and a possible business use case framing, but it'll be basis really business use case and nothing else. That's our fundamental philosophy around AI. And we do mirror our parent. We don't do anything on our own from that perspective. It makes no sense.
Sure. No, sounds absolutely great.
Thank you.
Sridham, I think, the kind of world we are living now, we have multi-generation leaders working in the same organization.
Yes.
And I don't want to take names of different generations, but I still wanted to get some sense from you, given your journey of decades. What kind of advice, some learning nuggets you would like to share for the younger generation where they can shape their career much faster?
Great question. I think I don't need to tell this to the younger generation, but be curious, learn the relevant things, stretch yourself. And continuously try to see how you can add value, right? Everybody keeps telling me that the younger generation has a different value system than us. I don't believe so. I think the value systems are the same. They also want to create impact. They also want to deliver. But their ways of execution are very different from the ways that we did. So even if you don't want to work as hard as possibly your parents did, work smart, but learn continuously. That was what I would leave them with.
Oh, super thoughts. I think that curiosity and continuous learning.
Correct.
I think they're two very critical words or very important words for youngsters to take.
Yes.
As we are moving towards the last section of the conversation, I also want to get some thoughts from you. This entire culture
Yes.
And, given again this diversity which we have, and diversity not just from the gender or from the abilities point of view,
Yep.
but even multiple value system perspectives,
Yes.
maybe backgrounds.
Yes.
How do you see this culture of Broadridge Financials today? How will you define the culture of Broadridge Financials today? What have you built? What is that you're aspiring to build as a partner?
I think from a sheer culture perspective, we are at the wall. We are ready for next. One of the things that I've learned from Tim Goki, our CEO, is that the best way of predicting the future is to create it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are always ready for next. We are always ready to elevate and accelerate what we want to do, our goals, our vision for our customers. And we sincerely really believe that next never waits for us.
Oh, very nice. And I think like the way the wall said, ready for next.
Yes, that's our tagline.
It was lovely to meet you today, Shinu, man. I think learn about you, learn about the kind of great stuff Broadridge Financials India is doing, and the way you have become really a strategic partner to your global organization. The kind of recognitions I see here, I think this is just a beginning. I'm sure
very proud
more,
of what my
many
team
more to
does.
come.
Yes.
So it was lovely to be here today.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.